Welcome back to my channel. This is Functional Skill Maths Level 1 Section B Calculator paper, and this is part 2 from question 6 to 11. Question 6. Sinal is a baker. She buys flour in 50 kilogram bags. Week 1, she has 7 bags of flour. Week 2, 14 bags of flour. Week 3, 8 bags of flour, and week 4, 13 bags of flour. Now the question says Sinal will make 2,400 loaves in week 5. Each of these loaves will need 250 grams of flour. So we need to look for week 5, and that will give us 2,400 times 250 grams. Using a calculator, this will give us 600,000 grams of flour. So if you notice here, 600,000 grams is in grams, the unit is in grams, and then is packed in 50 kilograms. So we need to convert 600,000 to kilograms. We know that 1 kg is equals to 1,000 grams. So we need to divide 600,000 by 1,000. So to work this out, you can put it in your calculator, or you can easily cross out the thousands. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you have 600. And this is in kg, kilogram. So to know how many bags of flour used in week 5, we divide 600 kg by 50 kg. This will give us 12 bags. So week 5 has 12 bags. The question is to work out the weekly mean number of 50 bags of flour used in these 5 weeks. To get the mean, we add all the number of bags of flour together. That'll be 7 for week 1, plus 14, plus 8, plus 13, and plus 12 for week 5, divided by the number of weeks, which is 5. So if you put the top numbers in your calculator, 7 plus 14 plus 8 plus 13 plus 12, that will give us 54 divided by 5. My calculator is 10.8. So you can approximate 10.8 into a full bag, which will give you 11 bags. The next question says, show a check of your calculation for the mean. So if we come back to our answer here, we got 10.8, which we approximated to 11 bags. So here we do the inverse. We can do 10.8 times 5 or 11 times 5. Our calculation is 11 bags times 5, which will give us 55 bags. Or is okay if we use 10.8 times 5, which will give us 54 bags. The difference is close. The difference is just because of the approximation. Question 7. Gordon buys a new slide for his garden. His garden measures 6 meters by 7 meters. The question is to draw a space for the slide on the square grid below. The key is 1 centimeter on the grid represent 50 centimeter in the garden. And that's the line that represents the fence. That's this line at the boundary here. Outside here is the fence. We can make the units the same. We got meters and centimeters. So we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. You can convert the unit to whichever one you're comfortable with. We can convert everything to meters or to centimeters. If we want to convert everything to meters, we will need to convert 50 centimeter to meters. So we do 50 centimeters divided by 100. If you put this in your calculator, you will get 0.5 meters. Therefore, how many 0.5s do we have in 6 meters? That is 12. And in 7 meters, we have 14. So we have 12 from here to here by 14 from here, that's 14 to here, 12 by 14. So on the grid, the space for the slide must be a rectangle, 3 meters by 1.5 meters. So 3 meters now, 3 meters on the grid will be 6 centimeters, while 1.5 on the grid will be 3 centimeters. Now it now says at least 2 meters away from the house. So 2 meters now will be 4 centimeters on the grid. Finally, at least 0.5 meters away from a fence. So 0.5 meters will be 1 centimeter on the grid. So now let's create the space on the grid. It says at least 2 meters away from the house. 2 meters, we said that is going to be 4 centimeter. So that is the house here. So we draw that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should start from somewhere here. Now it says at least 0.5 meters away from the fence. So that's the fence, the dark one, the line here, at least 1. So it will be at least 1 away. So we start somewhere here. So the rectangle is 3 meters, which is 6 centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1.5 meters, which is 3 centimeters. We go up 1, 2, 3. It's very good to use a ruler here. And now let's complete our rectangle. Complete the opposite side will be the same. And then we draw this down. So this is 3 meters by 1.5 meters. And it is at least 0.5 from the fence and then 0.5 from the flower bed. Space for the slide. Or just in case you like to convert to centimeters. So I'm using this extra space, but in exam you're not allowed to write in this area. So you can do 6 meters. You times it by 100, which will give you 600. Now you divide 600 by 50. and that will give you 12, which is the same thing we got previously. And then it says by 7 meters. 7 meters, do the same thing, times it by 100. It will give you 700. Divided by 50, and it will give you 14. So that is the 12 by 14 we have. And for the shed, which is 3 meters, you times it by 100, you will get 300, divided by 50, and then you will get 6, which is the same thing that we got before. And then it's by 1.5 meters. You times it by 100, that will give you 150. If you divide by 50, so that will give you 3. All right. So this is just an additional information in case you want to convert to centimeters. So you do the same thing for 2 meters times 100, which will give you 200. If you divide by 50, that will give you 4. There's 0, there should be 0 here, 50 here, which is equals to. Okay. And then finally we have 0.5 times 100. This will give you 50, divided by 50 to give you 1. So you can just calculate on the grid the number of centimeters which we have here. Question 8. Belinda asked 20 people, how many hours of TV did you watch last week? And that's the table. Belinda wants to put this in frequency table, and she will use 4 groups. So the question is to design and complete a suitable frequency table. So the group starts with 1 hour and then ends with 20 hours. So that will be 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, then 15 to 20. Sorry, this will be 16, not 15 to 20. And the table, I'll draw a line. Make sure you use a ruler for this. Drawing a line, and then that's my groups. Then I always love to use a tally. That makes my job easy. I will put a tally. Though the question is to get the frequency. So I'm getting the frequency. That is what the question requests you to do. Frequency. Now using a tally, I'll go back to the table, and then I will put the number of hours in each tally. Here 3, I'll cross out 3. 3 goes here, straight line down. 17. 17 is between 16 to 20. 4 down here, another 4 down here. 6 goes here. 11 goes here. 14 goes here. Another 14 goes here. 1 goes to the top. 20 goes to the last one. 9 comes here. 8 comes here. 9 comes here. 6. Now the 5th one, you cross it. and 12 comes here, 7 comes here, 8 comes here, 13 comes here, we cross, another 13 comes here, and finally 9 comes here. This tally is very good. It helps you not to miss anyone. If you don't want to use tally, you can easily count and put the frequency on, but this is the best method. So you can count the tally now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. For 11 to 15, we have 6. And then 16 to 20, we have 2. Question 9. Denise is making a container for tomato plants. And it says the capacity of the container will be 180 liters. 1 liter is equals to 1000 cubed centimeters. So we need to work out the length of the container. From the cuboid, we got the length, that's the length times 40, which is the width, times the height, which is 55. We're told it's equals to 180 liters. So looking at the units, we've got 180 liters, and we've got 1 liter here is equals to 1000 cubed centimeters. So what we need to do, so 1 liter here is equals to 1000. So we times this by 1000. And that will give us 180,000. So we do not know what the length is, but we do know what the width and the height is. If we put 40 times 55 into our calculator, 40 times 55, we will get 2,200. So to find the length, we will need to divide 180,000 divided by 2,200. So if we put this in a calculator, we will get length will be 81.81, and it keeps repeating itself. So the question says give your answer to the nearest whole centimeter. Round 81 to 82 centimeter. This is because 8 here, it's more than 4, so it needs to be 1 needs to be added to 1, and that gives us 82 centimeters. So length here is 82. Question 10. Match each 3D shape to the correct net. The cube, we know the cube goes for this because all the sizes are equal. And then that, and finally this because of the pointed top. Here is a cylinder. Which one of the shape below could be the plane view of the cylinder? So that's the top view, and that will be the circle. Question 11. James wants to buy a house. The price of the house is £250,000. £250,000 is £250,000. So James has to pay a deposit for the house. The deposit is 15% of the price of the house. So we need to work out 15% of 250,000. So if you put this into your calculator, you will get 37,500 pounds. Back to the question. James already has part of the deposit. He has 32,000. How much more money does James need for the deposit? So now what it needs, we need to do 37,500, take away the amount he has, which is 32,000. This will give you 5,500 pounds. So James needs 5,500 pounds more for his deposit. Finally, show a check of your percentage calculation. So all we need to do is just to do the inverse. We got 37,500. So we divide it by 15 and then multiply it by 100. We'll get back to the actual amount, which is 250,000. Thank you so much for coming back. I hope you've been able to watch my previous video. That is from question 1 to 5. Thank you. Bye.